How's it going, everyone? In this video, I'm going to be talking about the best computer you can build today for less than $500. So if you guys are looking for a new PC or workstation, whatever it may be, this thing is going to be able to get that job done for the best value for your money you can find in a computer. I'm sure this is going to be one of your best options, if not the best. So please keep in mind that this PC build isn't going to be the most aesthetically pleasing in some parts, but that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be very general in the sense that it's going to cater to a big audience. So feel free to let me know in the comment section down below if you disagree with this build or if you changed any parts in the list. So to kick things off, I decided I'd base things around an AMD's Ryzen 5 1600 AF edition, going at about $85 right now. It's a great price for performance, and considering what we're looking at to cut costs a little bit, we're not really sacrificing much for a 2600 at the price of a 1600. Now for the motherboard, we're going with a B450M DS3H motherboard, going around $75, which is one of the cheapest options, but it gives us everything we need right now. It's nothing really special, just looking for a board that'll get the job done for a good price, and that's exactly what this thing gives. Next up for the RAM, I went with Patriot Viper Elite Series, 2 sets of 4 gigabytes, in total 8 gigabytes of RAM. I went with the cheapest option here since you really can't go wrong with your options if you're looking in the right place. By the way guys, I think I forgot to mention that all these parts, literally all of them, are available on Amazon as of recording this video, so I'm sure you'll still be able to find them, probably at different prices, but they shouldn't really be fluctuating right now. Anyways, back to the video. Alright, so moving on to storage, I left it at 2 options, a hard disk drive or a solid state drive. So obviously this is one of the things I was mentioning about if your user wants to customize your computer based to their needs. So generally people go with 1 terabyte of a hard drive for $45, but the other option is 480 gigabytes, which is almost half of a terabyte, for $55. So if you're willing to compromise speed over storage, you could pick one or the other. Or if you're going to pick both, you can also do that and cut down on your storage in the SSD. Say 1 terabyte of your hard drive, and then 240 or 120 gigabytes of an SSD, and then that'll even your costs. Either way, whatever you go with out of these options that I just mentioned, they should leave you at $500 or a little bit under. Okay, so moving on to the power supply, it's one of the most important parts of your computer. See, you don't want to overspend on your power supply, but you don't want to cheap out on it either. For this case, it's 450 watts, and it's a Cooler Master power supply for $45. I think it's going to do you pretty well, and it's not going to break the bank. Now for the graphics card. I went with an RX 570. It's 4 gigabytes of GDDR5 video memory, and this one went for $120 on Amazon. To top this all off, I decided to go with a dark flash case. It's a $55 case, which in my opinion is really good. Unless you really don't care about your aesthetics and you want to go with a straight up normal case that isn't going to break the bank, go for it. But in my opinion, this dark flash case is actually pretty cheap, and it gives you a lot of features like a power supply shroud, and the tempered glass even opens to the side, which I think is just a pretty neat feature if you really need to get into your computer, especially for those who build them. You're really going to want to clean it out every now and then. Like I mentioned previously, the case in this build is just another example of one of those things that is supposed to cater to a big audience. So if you guys really feel like changing that, whether you want it to be a little bit cheaper or if you're willing to spend more in the aesthetic category, it's up to you. Alright guys, so lastly, I'm going to include something in this PC build that many builds I see tend to overlook, and that's actually a Wi-Fi adapter. So I'm including this because many people nowadays don't have an Ethernet cable. So just to prevent complications, especially since this motherboard that we got in this PC build does not include one, I personally use a Wi-Fi adapter. So it's literally just a USB and you plug it in, and it runs about $16.99, $17. So I'm including that in the price of this build, totaling out to less than $500. Specifically, $488. Pretty good value for what you're getting out of all this stuff. Again, some of the stuff that I mentioned was a little bit general, but that's the freedom of PC building. You guys can narrow it down to whatever you feel like changing it up. So to wrap things up, you guys should hit that subscribe button and like the video because it would help. For now, make sure to leave some feedback down in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. In the meantime, I'll see you guys in the future. Peace out.